Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're taking a look at an Aberlour 15-year-old oloroso sherry. This one is the Artiste number 14 LMDW. Dustin, you want to take a shot of what that says?
La Maison du Whisky.
Enthusiast 14, cast 801189. 15-year-old Aberlour 2008. Dustin, I've heard good things about this this particular or the whiskeys that these guys pick. That they pick some.
I think it's a store in France or something along those lines. I'm not an expert, Mike, but
yeah.
I have definitely been told over the years that if you see that name, you buy.
Yeah, so this is 80 or 58.9% ABV, only 257 bottles, Dustin. So a very rare Aberlour. Again, 15 years old, 2008 vintage. Another gift from our buddy Mike B. I tell you what, we've done a lot of sherry bombs lately.
Buddy, we have been in the sherry mood. You know, you guys watch videos when we review sherry whiskey, so clearly you guys like sherry too.
Obscure whiskey, Dustin, 257. 257.
57, okay. So that's maybe this is hogshead, perhaps?
All right, Dustin,
or a really big loss on the butt.
Sherry, here we come.
Some flat butt. Interesting. It's like a really nice sherry up front, and then like crayon.
Yes.
Like, and it's not the crown itself; it's the paper.
Yes, crayon paper. You're absolutely right. Like at first, this comes. I haven't done Aberlour in a long time, but I had my time with Aberlour. I did 16, 18.
Yeah, those Abuna.
Yeah, Abunas. Yeah, the cast strength ones. So I've done a few of them. This comes off older. I mean, 50 says 15 years old, which is medium old for Scotch whiskey. But there's something very recognizable to the old 18s, which I think is a beautiful whiskey.
I was going to say that you could tell me this is 18, 21 years old. Yeah. I would not be shocked.
It comes off very much like the 18-year-old. Except for just the huge ABV, 58.9.
That paper thing is interesting. It's like, it's almost dirty, but it's not. It's almost like...
It's a wax coating.
Yeah, it's almost like...
But there's dirt on it, but it's going to wash off just
It's
fine.
almost like it's a sign of youth, but it's also maybe a sign of age. It's like right there where like, it could go either way.
It's definitely not a sign of youth. There's nothing youthful about this.
Not youthful, no, you're right. Middle age. It's like it's one of those like it's not. It's like the wood hasn't gotten there, or maybe it's a sign the wood really did get there.
Yeah, this is. I wouldn't. I mean, Aberlour is somewhat distinctive, but I wouldn't necessarily think Aberlour.
Oh, I'm not getting the sweetness on the back end that Aberlour usually has. It's usually got a nice sweet malt note, and this one's again that crayon paper hits you, and you're like,
There's a drying aspect to this one.
That's the Oloroso. That's a nice first Oloroso.
I agree. Did it say Oloroso? No, we didn't. But
it's got to be Oloroso. I mean, this is Oloroso here.
I wouldn't disagree.
Mike, tell us when we're wrong. I'm going to laugh, but I tell you what, if it's not Oloroso, I am shocked. But it wouldn't shock me also if they just put out a bottle and just simply said sherry.
Wow, that's really nice. Smooth, milky, milk chocolate.
This is very much like...
maybe some type of light red berry.
This is like a weird way to say this, but this is the Kool-Aid of sherry. Everyone's going to like it, Like it's not... There's nothing off-putting. There's nothing offensive. No. It's not ultra-refined. It's not 5-star dining. It's not special, but it's like everyone's going to really enjoy this because it's just...
The ultra-refined part, I don't know about. It almost feels like purified. Like there is no...
Well, that's kind of... Kool-Aid's kind of purified. It's just water, sugar.
Maybe I wouldn't say it that way. This is NORB approved. Like there is no matchstick here. There is no type of sulfur here. This is just devoid of anything negative. Anybody... And again, sometimes...
That's what I'm literally saying here. It's like there's nothing wrong here, but there's not like a decadence. There's not like that step up of like... At least on the nose, there's no decadence here. It's just... You can't dislike this. Unless you hate sherry, you are going to enjoy this nose.
You know that V10 Audi? You know what the car I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
So, like, that car didn't come off like, it's a 600 power supercar or something like that.
Yeah, right?
Not compared to, say, a Porsche or a Ferrari or a Lamborghini.
I think it's way more Lamborghini than it is Porsche.
Okay, maybe it's a bad comparison.
No, actually, you brought the right one up. It's kind of like getting a Porsche where, could just be a really great cruiser, awesome car, or it could be a Ferrari contender. You just...
Okay, let's put it that way. A really good, well-driving Porsche 911 twin turbo I mean, how much better of a driving experience can you possibly get? It's such a forgiving car. It makes it so easy to drive well. Yes, you can get a Lamborghini or Ferrari. It would be flashier. It would be 2 to 3 times as expensive, 8 times as expensive on insurance.
Not always.
But I tell you what, you maybe wouldn't get a better driving experience.
Absolutely. I get where you're going, yeah. I was thinking more of the Carrera, the ultimate driver's car. But
This is a French...
French store that picks
correct.
it, yeah. So it's just like it's a store pick, essentially. Just a really, powerful brand.
Yeah, no. I smell quality here.
Oh, yeah. Somebody smelled this and said, there's nobody who's not going to like this. Like, that was the initial thought. Was like, and there's, by the way, I would, on the nose, I'm guessing it's over 50% and under 55. But I tell you what, the alcohol is just non-existent in terms of like biting, burning, anything. It's just simple. And there's an oiliness to it on the nose. You can just tell. Can't wait.
Strong on the palate. Big punch. Big cherry punch. That's an interesting cherry. Juicy, grapey, but at the same time, almost something white wine-esque to it. Almost champagne-y in a really good way.
Ooh. The Aberlour malt jumps out at you here too, Mike.
Yeah, it's more.
I'm getting a Boona all day on this thing, on the finish.
Yep.
It almost gives like a Play-Doh-esque note compared to that sweet, creamy, oily sherry.
I can't get with that Play-Doh note.
It's just like
Play-Doh note with chocolate.
Yeah, well, I mean, the sherry's giving us chocolates and everything. It adds like an earthiness to it, and it's still got that like paper note as well.
Yes, the wax paper note is still there.
Yeah, but you know what? It's actually almost starting to get into that Vellicore type thing where it's really coming off more aged on the palate.
It comes off older than 15 years.
Yeah. Like, I'm getting yellow paper more now than like just that crayon note.
It's getting purple. It's getting grapey and purple.
I'm not getting any of that. Like, the sherry to me comes off again very middle of the road, but without any offensive notes possible. Like, really nice. I drank too much, I think, on that one. Water's going to be a rough test here.
Just another opportunity to hone your craft, Dustin.
Very drying as well on the palate,
Agreed.
I will say.
Yes, like some slap the taste out of your mouth at some point. It gets very dry.
It's more drying than I would have thought it. Well, the paper note, maybe I should have told me that.
Yeah, a little
Maybe it should have, but...
Get you a little rain coating.
Ooh, now there's a little bit of... Oh, yeah, there's a slight, like, smoked note coming through now.
Comes off older than 15, man.
Yeah, the age really went up with water. Now more creamy and integrated. That paper note's more like just floating all through the whole experience.
Not only creamy, but also cocoa.
This is like those those like hardened like cream puff things. Like the vanilla one, it's almost got some of that going on now. So now we're getting into more like decadent, like high-end dessert.
There is a yin-yang vanilla and chocolate interplay.
It's a chocolate center with a like French vanilla smoked cream puff.
Ooh, good.
Interesting. Still, I mean, kind of giving me nothing off-putting. Still, I mean, again, it's simple sherry, but done at the best way. I don't know how else to put it. It's just sherry done without any, like, it's down the middle, but it's like the best version of that.
Oily legs. Whew, ain't a water well. Mm-hmm. That's just beautiful chocolate.
A little bitterness on the finish now, though.
Chocolate got darker.
It's
there is some light, like white grapish note to this.
I'm not getting you there. That's the one thing I did.
Something bubbly. Like it says champagne. Really, it's not that. It's something just. I can't quite put my finger on it.
Maybe like some white pepper in there. Maybe
it's not spicy per se. It's just almost something popping in the background.
Like a little bit of spice on the finish.
A little sudsy.
It's probably just oak spice. Simple whiskey in a lot of ways, but well done. Definitely get the Aberlour.
Handed water well.
The sherry is
Came off older.
lovely.
Yeah, good sherry, guys.
Yeah, it comes off as a very simple, straightforward, nice sherry, like 18 to 21-year-old whiskey. That's how it comes off.
All right, Mike's whiskey. He's represented by these pages right here. So we'll go you straight over me.
Yep. I'm going to give it an 88, Mike. Really good whiskey. Nothing wrong with it. No wow factor. Nothing super, super special. But I tell you what, I have to say that is one of the nicer sherry casks, and it's very unique in what it did. I really appreciate that. That's why I'm going to give it an 88, because the overall experience is closer to an 87. But it's just really impressed with that sherry cask.
I'm getting an 88, but I'm saying an 88 push. Like it's a hard 88 for me.
Okay.
At the very least, it's beautiful sherry that comes off far older than what it is.
Yeah.
58.9. Did you ever get 58.9 out of that whiskey on the small?
Well, that's what I was kind of hinting to try to get you to tell me, because I was like, this comes off so non-alcoholic.
But you come with 48, I'd have believed you.
Yes.
Other than the richness.
Smelling it and tasting it, I was thinking between 50, 55, because it comes off, it's so easy to drink.
Yeah, no.
You can get yourself in some real trouble with this 58.
That's why I say 88 push. I could almost go 89. Like, there is something I'm not quite appreciating about this sherry cask. It's good. There's no doubt about it. But I think it's borderline special.
Yeah, I mean, the problem I'm running into here, Mike, is I like Aberlour's malt. I don't love it. I think that's the worst part of this. I think that sherry cask is way better. The Aberlour malt is a solid malt. There's nothing bad about it, but it's not one of my favorites.
This comes off age, too.
Again,
this comes off older than 80.
I'm telling you, with 18 to 21-year-old, really, if they made an 18 to 21-year-old sherried whiskey,
Aberlour did. Aberlour had an 18 for a long time. I don't know if they still produce it.
Well, I meant like something between those two. Yeah, like a high proof.
21, sure.
And it tasted like this. At today's market, let's call it $250. I know today's market is probably higher because Aberlour's done a little price hike.
Yeah, man,
you would be happy with that all day, every day. I wouldn't want to go much over that, and I bet you this bottle goes for more than that these days.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Only 257 bottles. It's not going to be cheap. Anyway, those are our thoughts on this particular whiskey. If you guys had a chance to try this, Aberlour 2008 15-year-old La Maison du Whisky, Artiste number 14, bottle 801189. We'd love to know what you guys think. Only a few hundred of us got a chance to try this one. Dustin, until next time, what do we wish the folks?
Happy drinking, French style.
See you then.